I'm Georgia, and today we've got a really exciting cake to show you. It's a giant donut cake, especially for Hanukkah. So what we would recommend is get a tin like this. And the idea is to actually make 2 of them. So if you've got 2 tins, then you can double the recipe, or you can just make it twice. We need to prepare the tin.
I'm just putting some oil around the tin. It's really important to do both sides of the center ring as well.
The last thing you want is your donut sticking to the ring. The tin is ready, so we're going to start off with the sponge. So in goes the oil and the sugar. This is vanilla paste. Adds a really nice flavour to the cake. Once that's mixed together, you can go straight in with your eggs. And in here, I've got the baking powder and the flour.
And use a whisk to mix it in to make sure to get rid of any lumps.
So you get a nice smooth batter. And that is the cake batter done. Super easy and super quick. So to fill the tin can be a little bit tricky, but luckily I have an extra pair of hands. Cake is ready for the oven. It's going in at 175 degrees Celsius for about 50 minutes until it's fully cooked through.
So now we're going to make the Swiss meringue buttercream. Here's egg white and sugar. I'm just going to give that a good mix together.
And the reason we want it properly mixed now is because we don't want lumps of egg white that haven't been mixed up to heat up. Because otherwise you get kind of scrambled eggs in your meringue.
No one wants that.
And yeah, not so nice.
I'm happy that my sugar and my egg is mixed in, so I can pick that. I'm now going to pop this on top of the pan of water. I'm going to keep mixing now. It's important that we keep it moving. It needs to get to between 63 and 65 degrees Celsius.
When you're taking the temperature, it's important to keep the mixture moving to get an even reading. And also not to have it touch the bottom, because then you'll just read the hot metal instead of the egg white and sugar. It's hard work, but it's totally worth it. This buttercream is delicious.
It is. Takes just a bit of patience.
Should she have a bike?
Fluent and frozen. Okay. So we're happy now that this has reached 64 degrees. I can see there's no grainy bits of sugar left. We'll take that off the heat and put that on the mixer. And number 8. And let it go until it cools, well, until we form a meringue. It'll still be warm, but it'll form a nice, firm, stiff meringue. How long? It'll go for about 5 minutes. So our meringue has cooled down, it's ready now, it's formed, it's become nice and stiff, so now we can add in our butter.
So it's really important to have 0 heat left on the bowl, because otherwise the butter will melt instead of the buttercream forming.
Yes. So it's just starting to happen now. Now that it's all caught, now I can turn it right up. And it's done. So we're just going to flavour this with some vanilla. And that's it. Our buttercream is now done. And we can just scrape down the sides of the bowl to make sure that any meringue that might have been stuck at the bottom is all mixed in.
Right, ready to fill the cake.
Oh, wow, this is great.
So, cakes are done. So after they were cooked, we actually turned them this way up. So there is a flat bottom to them. However, we are just going to trim off this crumb layer because we don't want a layer of crumbs when we sandwich the 2 donut shapes together.
We
would you like to put some buttercream on the cake board? That's going to secure the first layer. So just to make it easier to fill the cake, we put some buttercream in a piping bag. And I'm just going to use the shape of the ring to pipe rings of buttercream to get an even layer.
That's a really satisfying one.
I'm getting dizzy. And now get the second donut shape and line it up.
Oh, how fun.
So now I've got a whole coat of buttercream on the cake. I'm going to spread it out, but instead of using a palette knife, I've actually got a piece of acetate. I'm going to apply a bit of pressure to the acetate and hopefully it will start scraping off the excess buttercream. Ooh, now that looks less like a bagel and more like a donut. I'm going to put this in the freezer for about 15 minutes to firm up.
So no donut is complete without some sprinkles. And because this is a mega donut, we can't just put on ordinary sprinkles, so we've got to make our own.
Our own mega sprinkles.
Woohoo. So I'm going to use an extruder to do this.
But you can kind of roll it out and make one long sausage and then cut it. Look at that, mega sprinkle coming up. Super colourful, it's going to look really pretty. So for our drip on the donut, we're going to make a white chocolate ganache, and for this we're going to heat up the cream until it's steaming and then add white chocolate. But what is this ingredient here, I hear you ask? This is called titanium dioxide. It's actually a white chocolate food colouring, or food colouring in general. If you add just the white chocolate without this, it goes slightly yellow, and we want to make it pink, so we're going to add pink as well. Cream is nice and hot, and in goes the white chocolate. So you can see it really goes this yellowy sort of colour. What I'm going to actually do is transfer it into a smaller container. And then in with a little bit of the titanium dioxide. And now you'll see how white it gets when you blend it with a stick blender. So like you said, we want it a nice pink colour. And blend it in.
That's good.
Behold the
Mega donut.
mega donut that is firmed up completely.
Lovely.
And now and run the chocolate just along the top, and then it should naturally fall.
So we left our sprinkles to air dry a little bit now, and so they're firmed up a little and they're perfect for us to put on.
I think that's enough sprinkles. What do you think?
I know, it's great. Yum.
Yum! Giant donut! I wish I thought of this more. What?